Hi, I'm Roxanne, Carne, personal wardrobe stylist for women.
And I'm Sydnie Long, creative director for Roxanne, Carne, personal stylist, and the RC Style Guide Collective.
Yes.
And owner of Mixed Vintage. So
yes.
We got our titles running down the list here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you for watching. And I'm a personal stylist. I work with women in really enhancing their image through a sartorial lens. Basically, you know, getting them great pieces that work for them authentically and their lifestyle. And our video today is centered on pieces that bring both myself and Sydnie personal joy. You know, when you're wearing clothes, you have to love what you have, yes. But there are always going to be like certain pieces, whether it's clothes, shoes, handbags, jewelry, and what have you, that really, really give you a sense of satisfaction. It may be tied to a special memory, or it just may be a piece that you love. And we wanted to do this video because quite often we're asked, you know, what's in your wardrobe? Yeah. You know, what do you really, really love? So we thought it would be really fun to put together this video for you.
I know, we have a good haul. We kind of are doing a little show and tell and dragged out our favorites. So yeah. We're actually gonna have a lot of fun with this, so we know you will too. I hope so.
So Sydnie, why don't you kick it off with your collection?
Yes. So when you say kick it off, well, let me show you my favorite little boots I have here. They're just like a leopard. Matisse is the brand, Matisse boot. I'm in no way affiliated with them, but for the amount of boots that I buy from them, I should be at this point. They're just so great. They're kind of like a little spin on like Western and rocker. I love it. Which is right where my style lands in between. So you got a long little pointed toe here. I mean, it's pure leather made in Brazil, and this is so awesome. Calf hair, leopard print. I'm gonna hobble on over so you can see. But I wear these all the time. She's shorts.
And you completely rock it, because these shoes totally go with Sydnie's personality, her vibe, you know, the colors, the kind of like that Western, like you said, Western rocker look. Yeah. And they just look so good on you.
Thank you.
I love those.
A little funky too. So now that I'm up, I will show you, well actually, so as I mentioned, I own a vintage shop and I love vintage clothes because as we actually talked about yesterday, we believe that what you wear tells a story about you, and fashion history has been telling stories since forever. So I actually just got this really cool clutch, which, believe it or not, it's from the 1930s. But I mean, it's perfect because it could fit, you know, if I wanted to put my iPad in here.
It's a deep clutch.
Yeah, it is a deep clutch. I could literally walk around with it. It's black, it's woven, I love that. Really fun, so this is a new favorite of mine.
I think that's awesome.
Thank you. And now moving on to my clothes rack, I have here one of my more recent purchases as well. I got this in November during Black Friday sales.
Gotta love the Black Friday sales, right?
But it is an All Saints black leather jacket. I mean, this is, I love the hardware, all the silver, the buckles.
I mean, it's a proper moto jacket with the details here.
Yes.
The hardware is amazing.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite pieces, and it's something that will last a long time. I'm a huge fan of leather. Because I love the smell, first of all, and the texture.
The texture, and that's a really buttery soft jacket too. So Sydnie, like when you wear this jacket, how do you typically style it?
I am a jeans, jacket, and boots kind of girl. I will put on jeans, which I actually brought my favorite ones to show as well. Yeah, an old pair of vintage Levi's 501s. That are heavily distressed, but they give so much character, and you know, jeans are one of those things where, you know, you're kind of not supposed to wash them every time you wear them, because it's part of the charm of the jean and just how they're structured and composed. I mean, they're built to last.
Yeah, so, these are nice wide leg. I love the raw hem with the fringe, and it's kind of cool that you've got the details going on the backside as well. You don't really typically see the cut like in the patch pocket.
Yes.
Usually it's in the leg itself. But no, I really love these. These are really broken in. They're lived in.
Yes, and I love them. They're tried and true.
Yeah.
And I pair these oftentimes with some boots and this black jacket, moto leather jacket, and it kind of embodies that whole like kind of rocker but westerny feel that like mix and match in, and I love it. So these are a few of my favorite things, and then of course, you know, my love for vintage I think stems from some of the things that have been passed down to me, and in that is included one of my dad's old drill sergeant's shirts from the military. So my dad spent 20 years in the Army, and I kid you not, my sister and I used to always kind of like, not fight, but we would kind of be like, wait, no, I want that one, like I want that shirt, like, and my sister is 10 years older than me, so she has had more time with my father, has moved everywhere with him while he was, you know, full-time military, active. And so I'm like, yeah, you're right, like, I don't really have a claim to any of this, but like, my dad's always like, oh yeah, take that. And one of my favorites is from his drill sergeant days. It has even his last name, Johnson. Oh,
I didn't notice that.
At the very bottom.
Oh my gosh, this is in black.
Off.
Yeah. Oh,
but,
I see.
One of my favorites, I will literally, for a really relaxed look, I will pair this over those jeans, these same Levi's, with some sandals, and it just works for me. It's comfortable and functional, and still kind of on the vein of what we're talking about. Our style tells a story, so it's just so me. It fits my vibe.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it too.
Hey, it's so you.
Thank you. And a couple of other things, and other bags that are vintage. So I recently came across these from a friend of mine that sells vintage as well. She had this amazing leather patchwork purse in her shop, and I was stunned that no one had
grabbed it already. That is so unique.
I mean, look at the wide handle. It's so very bohemian.
Yeah.
The patchwork is incredible. I mean, this is all real leather. You know, you can wear it up here like that, or down here. I mean, it's wide enough you can actually hold things in.
Right. And deep.
And I know, like, when it's leather and it's this old, you know, like, it's obviously held together very well.
Yeah, and I you know, I can only imagine the stories with whomever has owned it before.
Yes.
You know, that they've kind of built into this, and just the whole aspect of sustainability and all that, just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a new favorite piece of mine for sure. And then on that same vein, I recently acquired this old leather handbag as well. Just old, kind of bohemian. Look at the stitching.
The shape of it.
The shape.
Yeah.
It's a saddlebag, I believe.
Small. Yeah, small one, yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. Really, this is better for me whenever I'm going out a little, I don't know, like if my whole outfit's a little more high than it usually is low. And as opposed to the big, like I usually carry a really big kind of hobo over the shoulder bag that's that just I stuff everything into it, and this is way better for my back and for my look when it's just kind of like on the go.
When you're on the go, need something smaller. Yes. You know, you're not carrying the suitcase on your arm.
Exactly. And the last thing I have for my little show and tell are my bracelets and my rings. I love chunky jewelry, and all of these pieces have a story to them. I usually acquire my jewelry from family or on a trip. So a few of these are from like the turquoise from Santa Fe. This ring right here, I'm not sure if you can see that. What do people usually do? They do the little like...
Put the hand behind it.
I'm like, well, whatever. It's from Hawaii. That's where I was born. So my grandfather bought me this. So that means a lot to me. I have a few little trinkets from different stops out in West Texas where my family lives. So I just have a lot of fun picking and getting to know the people that sell those pieces. A giant old Western ring, an old silver ring. So It's just a lot of fun. Old buffalo nickels, white buffalo jewelry. Interestingly enough, my mom's side of the family, we have a Comanche Indian heritage. So that is, I don't know, just kind of like a little nod to that.
Exactly.
Yeah, especially the buffalo nickels. But I mix and match. You know, it's all part of the fun, but all of these pieces really bring me joy when I put them on, and that's why I still will never give my mom back her her cuff. She's like, I want to wear that. I'm like, you never wore it, so mine now. But yeah. Anywho, I definitely enjoy everything in my wardrobe. All these pieces, just because they just feel very intentional and just staples. You know, like you would feel kind of lost. Like without certain things that you wear. Exactly.
It kind of grounds you, but these are pieces that you are actually utilizing and wearing at the same time, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes we have some pieces that we love that we just don't wear, which is fine.
Yeah.
Right? Or don't wear frequently. But you know, these pieces you have, I know that you rotate through them. Yeah.
And sometimes I have to like, okay, Sydnie, you've worn these pants like 3 days in a row now. I think like you need to give everybody else. Yeah, and
spread the love in your wardrobe.
Yes, but also when you love a piece so much and you keep wearing it, that's just more wear and tear.
Absolutely.
And so part of me is like, oh no, like what would I do if I lost these
something
jeans?
happened? But you're getting great use out of it, and that's the key to the wardrobe ultimately.
Absolutely.
If you get joy and you're actually leveraging and using and wearing the clothes. So
yes.
Awesome collection.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Even more awesome is your amazing stuff. You have to go through this.
Thank you. Yes. So
tell us what you're wearing. What are you wearing tonight?
I don't even remember. Like, this is a Millie top actually. I got this not too long ago for spring. Maybe it'll become a favorite piece. I like it, but it's not part of my presentation today, so to speak. But since you ended on jewelry, I'll actually start with jewelry.
Yes.
So I'll start off with this statement. Like, I don't even know how I would describe this. This is
choker.
It is like a choker. Yeah, it's brass. So this is Jennifer Fisher, and her jewelry. A lot of it is brass, and then it's overlaid with either 10 or 12 karat gold. I got this recently as an anniversary present from my husband, and this is just so amazingly unique. And I'm not gonna lie, this thing is heavy. I mean, it's brass, right?
As a weapon.
Yeah, but we've got kind of like a triple necklace thing going here, choker, and you just kind of wear it seated there. I feel like Egyptian or something when I wear this. I totally love it. I've worn it a couple times since I recently got it, and it has quickly become a favorite for me. Especially because it's so distinctive. Mm-hmm. I do not have a piece quite like this, and I absolutely love it. So great job to my husband for getting this for me for our anniversary. So this is a favorite. Oops. See how loud that is? I mean, you could like hurt somebody with this.
I know.
The next piece is this also brass cuff. So here's a close-up of the cuff. And this one is an important piece to me because I actually got this when I was in 5th grade.
Wow.
I kid you not.
That's wild.
And it still fits me. It was, of course, a little bit bigger on me than now, but I still wore it. But this just goes to show I love fashion and accessories and everything from a young age. And I mean, this thing is like, 30 years old, and I still rock it. It's brass, it's got a little bit of weight to it, but very comfortable, a nice wide cuff, and just a personal favorite of mine just because I've had it so long. So that's my cuff, my other cuff. This is a recent acquisition. I can't see, because I don't have my readers on, what brand it is. I think you spotted it earlier before.
CC Sky, SKYE.
Okay, CC Sky. This is just
awesome.
Kind of a leather wraparound bracelet. It's got kind of gold spikes coming out of it. If anyone knows me, my archetypes, my style archetypes are classic, minimalist, and edgy.
Yes.
I love
all
my
of
spikes.
that into that.
Right, all of it into this. This is certainly one of the edgy pieces that I own, and just super cute to wear. It's adjustable, but with it being leather, it's just very, very comfortable, and just adds that little kind of like, ooh, what's that? What's she wearing? I haven't quite seen a piece like this recently, especially not in gold.
I know.
If you see spikes, they typically tend to be kind of silver.
Yeah.
But this gold one is really kind of cool to wear. So that's
Good.
this one. And the last piece of jewelry is another cuff, a wide cuff. I got this at an estate sale, and it was one of probably about 9 or 10 pieces that I got from that particular estate sale. It was an estate sale of a friend of my husband, and I cleaned up when it came to the jewelry. So this piece, as well as the other pieces that I got from that estate sale, actually were from various countries in Africa. I can't remember what the husband did for a living, but he did a lot of global travel, and his wife would just really kind of tag along. So the collection is amazing. I actually have kind of like Chinese panels that have ivory on them that are in our dining room that we actually got from that estate sale. So just really eclectic and just really sometimes unusual pieces.
Yeah.
But I love this cuff because it's a little bit different. And when you turn it around, it has like kind of spears at the end, just a nice little detail. And with it being wide, it just is a great piece to put on, like if you're wearing something sleeveless. And this is kind of the accent piece. So definitely love this. I don't wear this as often as I used to. I think it just kind of depends on what I'm wearing, but it is definitely top of mind, and I wanted to include it in today's video. So we've got that, and I will show you. I'll actually show you handbags next.
Uh-oh. Louis down.
Yeah. This is a favorite of mine. This is a Louis Vuitton Petite Mal, and if you know Louis Vuitton, you recognize the monogram pattern.
Yes.
But I love this because it is like a mini suitcase.
Yeah, it's like an
Louis
old
Vuitton
luggage, like a vintage luggage.
And that is where Louis Vuitton started in luggage. So when I saw this, I just knew that it was such a unique piece, and the hardware on it is just gorgeous and amazing. It opens up. It's pretty small inside, but it's really meant to kind of carry your essentials. The strap is adjustable, and I mean, it really, again, it's just really big enough to carry your phone.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even put my keys in here. Lip gloss and a mirror, and like, that's it. My keys can't, because my keys are really chunky. I can't fit my keys in here. I usually have to carry them when I wear this. But nonetheless, it is just a great piece. And I got kind of the traditional one. As these became popular, they have some that are like all sorts of different designs, but I really wanted my Louis Vuitton bags. I only have one that has the LV monogram, because I'm not a huge like showing label type person. I prefer things that are more subtle. But because this looks like a little piece of luggage, I was like, I have to have that. I don't want the crazy designs. Cute. I want this one. So totally love. This is like one of my favorite purses.
And I love it because your iPhone case looks like that.
Yeah, my iPhone case. I have a Louis Vuitton iPhone case that is like literally on its last legs. I've had it for like probably almost 3 years now, but the back of it does match.
Yeah,
has that monochrome and the gold, hardware.
Yes.
So and let me just show you one thing too. If you look at the bottom and the sides, it's got little feet on it. So when you sit it down, you're not sitting it at it's not sitting on the very bottom of the purse. It has these little feet on it. Again, these little touches are really what make these pieces so unique. And again, also kind of mimicking like a little suitcase. So favorite piece.
Yes.
So I have one more handbag. This one is a fairly new acquisition from Anine Bing. Anine Bing is a blogger turned fashion designer, and I got this on a recent trip when my husband and I went to Miami for spring break, and I saw this, I think I saw this in the store window, and I was like, what is that? I have to go in. I just love, anyone that knows me knows that I love purses, and just the shape of it was like an interesting take on a clutch. And it's lambskin, but it's got kind of an embossed croc effect.
Yeah.
And just so nice to just kind of pop under your shoulder and go about your business.
Go about your business.
Go about your business. And because of its shape, it is long enough to carry more than the Petite Mal, right? I can put my keys in this, right? And a lot more. So I just love that trapezoid shape. Yeah. And it stands on its own. It's just
very unique.
It's unique, but also what I love about it the most is the simplicity. I love clean lines. That's the minimalist in me. This is definitely a minimalist piece.
Right.
And that whole saying less is more, I think very much applies to a piece like this. Totally. So that's one of my other favorite purses.
Yes, good looking.
So I have that. I'll talk about shoes next. So I'm going to show you the shoes that I have on right now. These are Dorsey style Sam Edelman pumps, and as you can see, these actually have little spikes on them. So again, this is kind of my edgy look.
You have a lot of things that double as weapons.
I know, what is up with that? Seriously.
Because you wear these sky high heels, so you gotta have the things to like,
take somebody out if I need to. But no, I love this, and the shoe itself is a suede, black suede. But I will say, these are like painful, and not to wear, but the spikes are sharp.
Yes, I told you those remind me of in track when we put our spikes on, and if you weren't careful and you were sitting like
you catch yourself. Well, that's happened to me.
Yes.
You know, wearing these. So I always have to be a little bit mindful, like when I'm crossing my legs or crossing my ankles, because these bad boys are pretty sharp. But you know what? I don't care. I love it. These look hot. Again, when I saw it, I was like, and the thing about it too is that I've seen, the spiked shoe in like maybe Louboutins or something like that. This is an affordable shoe. This shoe was probably no more than like $110, $120. And I'm like, this edge at that price, guess what? I'm gonna take it. And I love Sam Edelman pumps anyway. So yeah, this is a favorite of mine that I'm wearing. My next set of shoes that I want to show you are my Tamara Melon hybrid. This is kind of like a cutout boot / pump, and it's got a zip in the back that you unzip to put the shoe on. And I came across this shoe. Tamara Melon did like a mobile trunk show. I want to say this was prior to COVID. And they were doing stops across the U.S. And I'm on their like email list, and I saw they were going to be in Dallas, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta go, because Tamara Melon's a fairly new-ish brand. And Tamara Melon actually used to be the head designer for Jimmy Choo. Yeah. So just all about the shoes. So we went to check out the mobile trunk show, and they literally had, it was like this big tricked out like van RV thing. And if you look on my Instagram and go way, way, way back, you'll see a picture of me in it. It looked like a boutique.
Yeah,
like if you're inside, you would never think that was like an RV or anything. So, anyhow, I was kind of scoping out like what they had, and I saw these, and I was like, these are going home with me. And they didn't have my size, so I tried on another pair of shoes that were in my size, but they ended up shipping it to me, and I could not wait until it arrived. I got it in like 2 business days. It was pretty quick, but I could not wait to get my hands on these and my feet in these, and they're just so unique, so fabulous. And I haven't quite seen a shoe like this with this really interesting, again, it's kind of a Dorsey style, but then also it's like a boot cutout as well. Very, very unique. So I love these shoes. Tell me. And then my last pair of shoes that I'll show you today are my Louis Vuitton boots. These are called, I think, the Jane boots. Again, the edginess for me, it's all about, I love pieces that just bring some edge to it. I have to say that these are one of the most comfortable shoes that I own.
Yeah.
The pitch on it is just right, and just the quality and the materials, the hardware, the design. We've got kind of the black leather in the front here through the vamp. In the back is where you have the Louis Vuitton kind of monogram. And I like it because it's kind of subtle with it being dark. You can tell, you can see clearly it's Louis Vuitton, but it's not like splashed everywhere. But I just love like the zipper detail, the tongue in here. Everything is so well crafted, and I just have such a deep appreciation for clothing and garments that are made well. So these are a definite favorite of mine in terms of boots. I wore these actually last week to a function, and I actually just posted an Instagram recently in a romper that I styled with this, but I usually wear this in pretty much kind of the fall and winter season. So another Louis Vuitton piece there. So next I'm going to show you some garments that are my absolute favorites. So I'm going to start with this lovely and just quite stunning top by Self Portrait. When I saw it, I was just like, wow, it's so unique. I need to have this in my wardrobe. It's a beautiful one shoulder top. And if you look closely, I don't know if you'll be able to see the pleats in it. So it's a micro pleat, leopard print, white and black, and it zips up on the side. So you kind of have to like step into the piece and then put it together. But once it's on you, it is like absolutely stunning. We've got a nice kind of twist tie here on the right side. That. Yeah, and that's just, nice long sleeve. This is the back of it here. When I wear this, I typically just pair it with a deep, rich black jean, or like a coated black jean as well to have that little bit of sheen. But man, this thing is like fire when I wear it. I absolutely love this.
Speaks for itself.
Yeah, and I think I've only worn this probably about 3 times so far. I've had it for about 2 years, but I'm very, very intentional and specific of where I wear it, because it's not like an everyday top. It's got to be a particular event where it calls for something really dressy like this, or when I want to kind of really, really make a visual impact.
Yes.
But it's really, really pretty. I have a picture of me in this from one of the last times I wore it on Instagram. We'll try to include that picture here, but just super, super cute, and just, again, one word, stunning. Love the Self Portrait top. Okay, so next up is this gorgeous top from this current spring summer season of 2021 from Rebecca Taylor. And as you can see, it is a really, really soft ivory, which is in my color palette. Yes. Ivories work best for me. I'm a toned autumn, as opposed to stark white, full on stark white. And I love this piece because it is a mix of elegance and simplicity as well as drama. Look at these, pleated kind of balloon type sleeves on each side. The top is cropped, and you can easily wear this with skinny jeans, wide leg jeans, a long skirt. Like, you can do so much with it. It zips all the way up in the back, and it's again, I feel like this is such an elegant piece, and true story, I actually curated this top for a client of mine, and she absolutely loved it, but it was a little bit too much drama for her. And so
I'm ready for the drama.
Right, I'm like, I can take the drama. So we returned that in her size, but I was literally thinking about this for like a good week and a half until after that fitting was complete. And I was just like, you know what? Boop, boop, boop. I gotta go online and get it because I've been thinking about it. And like my sound effects, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
And I was thinking about it, and I was just like, I'm not going to see a top quite like this, probably ever again, especially from this designer. So I wanted to get my hands on it. They still had it available in my size, and I placed it on order, and it was here within a couple business days. And it is, I've yet to wear it. I still have the tag on it. It is brand new, but I cannot wait to wear this. I may have to wait until, you know, things cool down here in Dallas.
Yeah.
Maybe until early fall before I can rock it, because it's blazing hot right now. But boy, oh boy, am I so glad I got this. And this can be worn year round. That's the thing about this top, right?
I love that.
In the winter, it turns into winter white. So this is a new favorite of mine. Okay, next up is this gorgeous dress by Givenchy. And I just love it from the lines and design. It is a very form-fitting dress, form-fitting sheath dress. And the leopard print, we've got a black and white pattern, but I just love how it gets tight right in the center, in the front, as well as the back. So it draws your eye inward, but also lengthens you as well.
Yeah, and it actually mimics like a real leopard
pattern.
Yeah, exactly. Like their fur, like it gets tighter on their back. When you look at them, it's amazing.
I
and
love
it's what we met each other in.
Yes, that's right. I was totally wearing this. We met at a fashion show a few years ago, but almost 3 years ago, and I actually was wearing this to the event. Good memory, Sydney. And I think that was the first time that I had worn it.
Wow.
And it was funny because that event was in October, November. And actually it was November because I think it was my birthday. So I was excited to wear it for my birthday. But I had actually gotten it the prior March. I was in Chicago for a business conference, and my husband had come on the trip with me. And while I was in the conference, he was kind of exploring around town, and he actually found this dress. So he texted me. He was like, you know, when you're done with the conference, I'm going to pick you up and we got to go to the store because I have a dress that's on hold for you. So he actually had them put this on hold for me, and I went in the dressing room, tried it on, and I was like, whoa, mind blown. Yeah, he knows what's up. He's good. So this was a pick actually by my husband. He knows me very, very well in terms of my style. And I was just so happy to be able to add this to my collection, and it is a favorite of mine. I will say it is quite heavy. So this really can be only worn in the autumn and winter seasons. But otherwise, it's a really, really great piece. So yay for the Givenchy dress. All right, next up, this is another favorite of mine. What's the reason why this is also a favorite is because this brand, Stylist, no longer sells in the US market. It is a German brand, and it was a brand that I had a relationship back when they were here in the US a few years ago when I was living in the Washington, D.C. market. And basically we had gone up to, it was New York Fashion Week. We went up to New York, and they had a fashion show and invited us. And I saw this jacket, and I was just like smitten immediately. I just
love at first sight.
Love at first sight. You know, it's just, again, so very, very well made. I'm really, really big into, you know, quality tailoring, stitching, construction, the fine details right here. And the nice thing about this jacket is that it actually turns into a crop. So you can see the zipper detail here. This actually zips off. So I can have it as like a super, super, super cropped jacket. Inside, the lining has this really cool pattern of the you know, black and gray, you know, just to make it interesting on the inside. But again, extremely well made, and I really, really like it too because of the color. So when you have leather jackets, a lot of times they're going to be black, they'll be like dark brown. Sometimes you'll see kind of like other colors like burgundy or deep blue or something like that. But you don't really see a lot of gray leather jackets. So I just thought this was an interesting take. The hardware is really, really nice. Interesting take on a leather jacket. It's not quite a moto jacket, but it's super, super stylish. Love this jacket from Stylist. Yes. And in the leather jacket theme. This is another one. This is a recent favorite. I actually got this past toward the end of the autumn-winter turning into 2021 season, and this is by L'Agence, and it is a soft buttery leather jacket, cropped in style, almost kind of mimicking a double-breasted look with the buttons, the gold button hardware here. Very, very well made. Again, we've got the beautiful seams, the beautiful lines, and you know, when you wear it, it just fits like a glove. I have a picture of me wearing this on Instagram from this past like spring or so, shortly after I got it, and it's just beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Again, a simple yet elegant and edgy. You know, we're seeing a theme here in pieces that I have that have a bit of edge to it. I just love this. So yeah, thumbs up for L'Agence.
Yes.
All right, we're getting to the final two. So this piece is another favorite of mine. Definitely for autumn winter, we have a wool trench, and this is by Hobbs of London, a British brand. This was a brand I also had a relationship with when I was in the DC market. You can find, and even though they're British, you can order their pieces, you know, easily here stateside. You can find them also in Bloomingdale's. But anyway, this was just a striking piece because the color,
yes.
you know. This is great for autumn. It just, when I see this, I think of like autumn leaves when they're turning, you know, they kind of get to that like bright yellow. This one's a little bit more on the green side, but it's just perfect for the season. We've got a double-breasted look. It's beautifully lined on the inside with like a darker green, beautiful arm length.
The back is so cool. It's like very 60s.
Yeah, the stitching, 60s-esque, absolutely. We got the vent down here. So just a beautiful trench. And I wear this, I don't wear it as often as I would like just because the falls here aren't really fall. Like
one day.
Yeah, on the East Coast, like you could rock this a lot. Yeah. But it's, the weather here just is not where I could wear it like very frequently. Right. But it's still near and dear to my heart. I will never let this go. And yeah, this is just a gorgeous piece from Hobbs.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, and our last piece, our
piece de resistance.
Yes, our piece de la resistance is a Louis Vuitton leopard print coat. So I know this is like one of my ultimates because it is just striking to look at. Gosh. Anytime I wear this, people will just stop me and they're like, what is that coat? Where did you get it? Tell us about it. Like, what is this? I remember I wore this in New York, in Manhattan one time. It was the weekend of the New York Marathon, and we were walking past and people are just stopping me in the street just wanting to know about this coat. This is a statement coat for sure. This is not one that you're going to be wearing every day. You break this out when you want to make like a visual impact. Okay?
Yes,
so
a visual impact. Invading your visual field right now.
Absolutely, and it's just so fun to wear. Yes. Like I wear this with either ankle booties or a tall boot. And when I got this, the way I got this jacket when I first saw it was, we were at a fashion show. Louis Vuitton had a fashion show here in Dallas, and one of the models was wearing this as she was walking the runway. And after the show wrapped up, we got to kind of interact with the models because, you know, we're getting a up close and personal look at the pieces that they were wearing. And one of them still had this on. The model that was wearing it still had it on, and I just was like, you know, touching. I was like, this, I will never see this again. And I must incorporate this into my collection just because it's so unique. It's like wearing a piece of art. Look at the beautiful leather trim going down the center here. Again, that lengthens. And it's just like, it is like the bomb coat. It's just beautiful. We've got an ombre kind of coloring going on here. It's just really interesting to look at. So this is my final piece that is a favorite that I absolutely love.
Oh my gosh. And y'all don't even understand, like, this hardly even scratches the surface of what is in Roxanne's wardrobe. I mean, like, you go through it and you see just how well curated everything is. Like, she doesn't just pick things willy-nilly. She literally, I mean, they are, from the structure to the print, everything is so her, and it tells about her style and her, just who she is. Everything is amazing, and since I've been working with her, I've learned a lot about getting stuff with the colors, the right colors for your palette, you know, for your body type. I mean, you can't just look at something and grab it anymore, you know? You have to be intentional, and like, I just told her today, I'm like, Roxanne, when I grow up, I want to be you, you know? I'm like, I want, you're the goals, like, just your attention to detail. So
thank you, Sydnie.
These pieces are so you, and
thank you. They totally
show
are.
and tell you.
Yeah, and then this is why we put this video together, because we wanted to bring you on the inside a little bit into our personality as it relates to fashion. And I think you can see Sydnie and I have very distinct archetypes that we're naturally drawn to, and we sometimes play in each other's. Like, Sydnie does edgy really well. I don't really play in the boho space myself. Maybe like
touches.
Little touches. I appreciate it, but it's just not me. I'm definitely, I may have mentioned before, classic, minimalist, and edgy.
Lines,
and clean lines. And fun patterns. Yeah. But you know what's really funny, looking at the palette, I have a lot of neutrals. I'm even wearing black and white. I have color in my wardrobe, but I really love my neutrals. But then I'll do kind of pops of color, you know, like the last two pieces. But this is part of the fun and exploration of really developing your style, and that is why we wanted to show you the video today of pieces that we love, that excite us, that, you know, bring us joy, and really show you how much we love, and we want the same for you. You know, for the women that we support in person here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, as well as across the country, as well as the women that we support virtually through our RC Style Guide Collective. This is the message that we really try to kind of home in on, is that we want women to really take pride in themselves, shop with intent, bring in pieces that actually align with where they are at this, you know, particular point in their lives, and take care of themselves, take care of what they own. Because as you can see here, I mean, I'm talking about cuffs that I've had for over 30 years, and I still rock it, right? Some pieces, you know, this jacket over here, like 6 years ago. You know, these are pieces that I've had for a lot of them for a while, and they look brand new, but they still bring me the joy, and that's why I brought them into my wardrobe collection, because I knew this is something that I will love and wear as long as I can. That is how, in the long run, how you actually save money. By investing in key pieces that will last you for decades, sometimes.
Exactly. That surpass time. I mean, clearly. I mean, and I keep going back to vintage clothes, but that's why I'm like, this thing was from the 30s. The 30s.
Amazing. And
it's 2021.
Yeah.
This thing is
and it's holding up well. This has been through world wars.
This is way older than me. It's almost 100 years old.
Almost 100 years old. And it looks amazing, because whoever owned it loved it, took care of it, passed it down, you know, and now it's part of Sydnie's collection, and she'll have this and pass that down to, you know, to her daughters.
Pray over it, make sure it's not kidding. I'm not kidding though. No. But you know, like, someone lived in it, you know what I mean? Someone lived with it, you just, it's someone's story, and now it's my story.
And now it's hers. So this is really why we do what we do, and we would love for you to join us and help us really lead and guide you in your personal style journey, whether you're refining it, redefining it, whatever it may be, so that you are, you know, you're putting you first, but you're doing it in a private and exclusive space where you have other women like you that are going through the same thing, that have similar questions, and really want more for themselves. So please check out our RC Style Guide Collective online at rc-style.com and join our membership. You know, open the door to yourself and the possibilities, and really, you know, transforming your wardrobe and transforming your life. That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us today. And if you love this video, make sure that you like, that you share the video, share it on your social media, and also subscribe to our channel so that we are, you know, always popping up with our new videos, that you'll be able to see that first and hopefully, you know, learn and be inspired from what we have to share. Okay? So thanks again for watching, and Sydnie and I will see you next time.
Bye
for now. Thank you.